Okay. Just picking up on more of the energies that I'm channeling. Release. We have independence. I don't know if you use the same. Come on, let's get a new message. As I say, the Look, these are two of the same cards from the last reading. Okay. All right, so I feel like this pile specifically, channeling someone who has released a situation. They're on their own with independence. I'm getting almost bored and it's like, okay, what do I do with myself now? In dreaming days. So they're sitting here in the process of like, okay, I feel like you're trying to find yourself again with dreaming days. There's someone just sitting there who also looks bored. And you're like, what do I do? It's funny because, as I said, this segment's gonna have something to do with like some sort of warfare or, yeah, there's a lot of shadow work that needs to be done with the collective. So we're gonna pick up on that more than anything. I swear, it's always the same energies. Release, you and your loved ones are safe. So I do feel like there could have been some sort of concern as far as, you know, your loved ones or whatever. Independence, a time for healing. Literally getting the same cards over and over. You know what? Okay. Just rude. Just rude. My higher self, y'all, I swear, has such an itchy sense of humor. I mean, that's me. That's definitely me. Anyway, step out of your comfort zone. Independence. Yeah, as I stated, I feel like this energy is literally someone who is released, right? And you're in a state of trying to figure out who you were before all of the drama and the trauma. You're trying to figure out where to direct your energy. Communication is key to clarify dreaming days. Step out of your comfort zone, and communication is key. So I do feel like I'm hearing something about social gatherings. I think that is where you would need to start, or that's where spirit is guiding you to start. I do believe with the independence and the release, you've been isolated for a while, and it's time to come back into society. So I feel like the reason that if you're in this energy where you don't know, like, you know, let's just say you were a dreamer before and you had so many ideas, and then you had to go into survival mode and you have to clear all of this trauma and blah, 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 right? And you got so wrapped up in that journey, that path, that trauma, that you kind of forgot who you were before. You forgot all, like it's not that you forgot, like you had dreams, but it's almost like when you had dreams before, you had like, oh, if I just had this, if I just had A, B, C, D, I would put these ideas into action. And now it's like you have those things. That saying, like, remember, what is that saying? Pretty much what you prayed for, you know, let's just say, I hate when I get tongue-tied. But yeah, remember what it was that you prayed for before, or when you prayed to have the things that you have now. So you have those things now. it just so happens, you know, you just had to go through some shit not to get those things, because, you know, most of the time you're gonna have to like go through the dark and, you know, the shadow, the valley of the shadow, dark, whatever the hell it's called. You're gonna go through that. Everybody's gonna have their dark night of the soul. But yeah, we don't know when we're gonna go through it. We don't know when it's gonna happen for us. We don't know when God is gonna call you, whatever. But we all have to go through it. And anyway, like I said, I feel like you went through that for the most part. And you're out of your childish state of mind. And now you have to reconnect to your inner child. But you're not a child anymore. But you have to reconnect to the inner child that didn't have any of those worries, that didn't have to go through, you know, the traumas. Most of the time we have to go through those things, especially as a child, in order to understand, you know, the people that we blamed in the past, the adults that we blamed, the, you know, all that stuff. Once you go through that, you understand, you understand that everybody does the best that they can. You know, your parents, the adults, blah, blah, blah. You kind of just, you're able to see where they're coming from. Now, your thing though, in order to break whatever things that hurt you as a child, in order to break those generational curses, your thing is to forgive them and then to do better. You know, you gotta do better. Anyway, or else you're gonna, you know, end up stagnant and stuck just like they were. But you gotta do better. And you gotta do better. You gotta do what you feel like should have been done from them, you know? Because it's so easy to point fingers and judge people and say, oh, you did this and you should have done that. No, you do it. Anyway, it's like I said, we don't know when we're going. It's like a little rite. It's like a rite of passage in spirituality. It's like a bar mitzvah or a sweet 16. It's a rite of passage. You're stepping into womanhood and manhood and blah, blah, blah. So it's a whole thing. Anyway. As I stated, on this journey, now you're required to, you know, you have to put your childish ways to the side. You had to like adult for a little bit. And now you're being called to reconnect with your inner child. Now, in order to do that, you have to be who you were when you were a child. You know, you have to remember who that person was, all the things that you wanted. You wanted like, you know, your own car so you could like travel here. Now you have to balance work, or, you know, or if you want this, now you gotta go to work, and you still have to find that drive in order to like accomplish your dreams. But you were gonna do it as a child, because as a child you're like, I want a job, I want to buy this for myself, and it's like you have to do it. It requires some discipline, because often you have to save, you know, maybe you gotta save, maybe you got bills, but it's still possible. So you just have to reconnect. That's what I'm getting. So you just gotta reconnect with your inner child. Now, most of the hard stuff is over. Now it's time to reconnect to who you used to be. Anyway, as I stated, I'm hearing the Hermit. See, I don't usually do reversals, but I will do reversals sometimes, because I understand the Hermit usually it represents Virgo as well. This represents Virgo, but it was in reverse. And pretty much Hermit goes within. It's a solitary person who goes within and reflects and gets through the dark. You know, it has the little light to bear, but I do feel like, as I stated, it's a time to be social right now, which is why I was in reverse. It's a time to get out and reconnect with those people around you. You've been in your solitary energy, and in order to figure out what the next step is, you know, you're needing to step out. So step out of your comfort zone. Communication is key. You're needing to engage with others, come out into the world, you know, come back out into the world and just connect, co-create with other people. It's time for that. Co-creation. Six of Wands, victory, and we had justice at the bottom of the deck. It's like a job well done. Victory, you've completed what you needed to complete it, and now it's time to figure out the Empress. The Empress is like, represents a feminine mother sort of figure, but it could also be like the birth of something new, the birth of a new project, the birth of the new you, you know, you're being reborn, that sort of thing. Yeah, a rebirth. Okay. Queen of Wands, passion, desire. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I'm getting for this energy. Communication is key. Step out of your comfort zone. It is time for you to come back out into the world and, you know, start trying to put yourself out there. Share your gifts and your talents and your experience with other people. That's all I have.